I'm Ian Strudley. I'm a Balfour Beatty occupational health and hygiene specialist, and I'm here today talking to you about a project we're doing with RVT to talk about noise control on site. We currently have a zero harm campaign specifically focusing on noise hazards at work. We know construction is potentially a noisy workplace. What we also know is the fact that over 10,000 people a year are actually suffering from noise-induced hearing loss caused by their exposures at work. At Balfour Beatty, we pride ourselves on going beyond what the law requires of us, and we want to make sure that people go home at least as safe and as healthy as when they came to work in the morning. RVT are very good supportive partners of ourselves in actually helping us achieve this. So one of the best places to talk about this is actually on site, because that's where you see the activities happening. And so I'm going to hand over to Ted Taylor, who's a technical specialist at RVT, to talk you through it.
Hello, my name's Ted and I'm RVT's Senior Technical Consultant. Today we're on site with Balfour Beatty at Old Oak Common HS2 site. A huge site with lots going on, lots of background noise. A lot of activities that will require some form of noise control while we're working. One of the greatest challenges on a construction site is controlling noise levels. Excessive noise can cause stress, anxiety, hearing loss and safety issues on site. We need to start looking at practical controls to reduce noise levels, certainly down below 85, but if we can, below 80 decibels. At that point, in addition to any controls that we're putting in place, we need to be providing and wearing hearing protection when we're working. And bear in mind that the maximum limit for an average noise level is 87 decibels, even when you're wearing hearing protection. To put this into perspective, grinders, saws are typically between 85 and 110 decibels. A jackhammer is going to be up to 125 decibels. So how do we go about controlling noise on site? First of all, we need to consider the activity. Can we avoid using noisy processes or noisy equipment on site? Can we substitute that and find a quieter method? Can we find a way of creating a work zone, a barrier or a screen enclosure that is going to absorb that noise to protect the people working in the area around where we're doing noisy activities? And finally, can we change work patterns? Can we do job rotation to reduce the number of people that are exposed to noise and the duration of their exposure? Finally, after we've considered all the other processes in the hierarchy, we can look at PPE. Hearing protection such as ear defenders is the last line of defence. If they're going to be used, they need to be used properly. HSE recommend checking your hearing protection against the acronym CUFF. Condition: is the hearing protection well maintained and in good order? Use: are employees using the hearing protection when they should be? Fit: are the employees wearing the hearing protection correctly? And is it fit for purpose? Is it the right hearing protection for the job? At RVT, we're specialists in engineering controls. That includes things like perimeter noise barriers, breaker shrouds, machinery enclosures and cutting enclosures. The purpose of this type of kit is to break the line of sight and absorb the noise. If you've got a guy using a jackhammer without any acoustic barriers or enclosures, the noise will spread out, affecting anyone nearby. Now, when we put a barrier around the work area, the noise is blocked. Everything behind it, in the shadow of it, the shadow zone, is protected. Of course, on this diagram, there's no roof to the enclosure, so noise is still travelling out of the top. So for maximum noise protection, we'd recommend using a full enclosure. The most effective type of setup would be to have full enclosures around your noisy activities and machinery, as well as acoustic curtains around the perimeter of your site. Quite often we'll see noise barriers that are poorly connected together with cable ties. Just be aware that noise will escape through any gaps in your acoustic barriers. So for maximum effectiveness, you want to use acoustic barriers that velcro together and create a seamless barrier. When used effectively, noise barriers can significantly reduce noise levels on site, which can be verified through the use of noise monitors. RVT offer a variety of perimeter barriers, enclosures and noise monitors. All of our units are weather and fire resistant, and the high performance units will reduce noise by up to 32.9 decibels. We also offer generator enclosures that are made from a special PLF Tech material that will reduce low frequency noise by up to 59.9 decibels. We also offer different noise monitors for different application. One that sends information back to the cloud for continuous monitoring, and others that will give a visual traffic light display. So if you need any support with noise control, please don't hesitate to contact RVT Group.
I hope you agree that this video actually shows you just what we can do to manage noise exposures on site then. There were so many good things in there, wasn't there? And again, it demonstrates why it's so important to actually think about practical control solutions. But hearing protection is not the default option. It only protects the individual. We have to remember that. So we need to do as much as we can to protect the environment around us and manage those noisy tasks as much as we can. Noise is not an uncontrollable problem. There are so many solutions out there. If you do need support with noise control on site, and you will, then seek the help of RVT or a valued supplier of ourselves to help you manage those risks on site.